All right, this is Uptick Updates, episode 33. Brian, it's good to see you again. How are you doing?
Yeah, good to see you again, John.
Been a
And
while.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year for you.
Yeah, happy New Year to you too. It's been a good
Yeah.
year. I was hoping you could kind of give us, a wrap up of what happened in 2022 and also some insight on what you have planned for next year, 2023. Could we do that tonight?
Oh, sure, sure. Love to do that. I think
Awesome.
this is the right timing to do that, right? So at the end of the year, so we summarize what happened and or maybe also will project something in the future. Uptick project actually was introduced to the public in 2021.
Hmm.
Right. So at that time, we first introduced Uptick Marketplace in the Cosmos ecosystem, NFT Marketplace. So, but the long-term goal is to really build an NFT infrastructure for the Web 3.0, which including infrastructure, marketplace, and also ecosystem applications. So that's the complete pictures. So that's why in 22 we keep doing that, keep working on that. So yeah, if the audience review so many episodes we have, right? So in this year they can see a huge progress and always busy schedule
For sure.
here.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So the first let me say Uptick Marketplace was the first one introduced into Cosmos ecosystem, and in 2022 actually it's not just technically introduced, but also we have a business operation on top of that. So in 22 it became I would say one of the largest NFT marketplace in Cosmos ecosystem. Basically, we have over 2,000 unique creators and even 200,000 unique NFTs launched on the marketplace,
Hmm.
and also it keep growing. If you see the recent creator spotlight series, right, articles, you can see we keep having the new great artist creators coming to the Uptick marketplace
Hmm.
and to launch their works. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this progress because Uptick marketplace is the itself it's a NFT marketplace, but also it's a flagship application inside the whole Uptick ecosystem, right?
Hmm.
So that's really important. And it's also used to really develop and fine tune the underlying infrastructure, which will be opened up to the more developers, right? So it's not just used by ourselves.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the first one. And the second part is Uptick Marketplace actually in 22 probably was the first one to use IBC tokens. Because in 22, Cosmos SDK well integrated IBC protocols,
Hmm.
which is interchain communication protocols. That makes the interchain token transfer be pretty easy and secure. But in the past, most usage was to use IBC to transfer token to do some DeFi stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, but Uptick Marketplace was the first one to really bring the real applications to work with IBC tokens. For example, in the IBC or in the Uptick Marketplace, you can use Atom directly to list and purchase NFTs. It's not just limited to specific tokens. So and in the next step, maybe when they're more like a stable coin introduced in the Cosmos ecosystem, we can also bridge them, use IBC to make it work in Uptick Marketplace. Yeah,
Perfect.
that's the second part.
Mm.
And the third one, I would say, is uh, in 22, actually, probably Uptick Marketplace was the one of the first real multiple chain enabled marketplace across different technologies. I know it's not just for Cosmos technology, but also covers Cosmos technology, Ethereum technology, and also like some layer 2 ZK rollup, like a Loopring technology. So the reason we try to do that is we really want to make sure Uptick Marketplace as key applications can sit on different core blockchain economies, right? So currently, the cross-chain scenario is pretty hot topic, but in the real business usage wise, it's not really hot yet. I think it's coming, right? So that's why we have the multiple chain strategy put into place, which is also give us the room to grow in the future when the interchain really become the key requirements from the users, right? So yeah, so this one actually I'm pretty happy we did it. Especially, it's not just a technology launch on different chains. We also have a business operation on top of that, especially, for example, on Loopring. So we also have a business operation on that. So actually, the collector and the creators, the number of collector and the creators and then NFTs actually is more than what we have in the Cosmos ecosystem.
Really?
Market. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because over there, so because Loopring actually they connect to the layer 1 and layer 2, right? So there's it's a kind of a path to the Ethereum ecosystem. Yeah. So that's why we try to put our hands on those key economies.
Yeah, it's a good strategy.
So, yeah, so that's something we did in 22, and also a very important thing is that number 4 is the Uptick chain, because we keep saying infrastructure needs a strong layer 1 support. Otherwise, it's floating around, right? So on different blockchains, but if we cannot really support the infrastructure from the layer 1 natively, it's difficult to really release its power, right? So that's why we actually launched the Uptick chain in 22. In March, we launched the Testnet 1. So actually, a lot of people joined Testnet 1. And in October, we launched Testnet 2. So currently, we are in the later stage of Testnet 2. So, currently we have actually, we totally accumulated over 500 validators actively participated in the testnet.
Good work.
Yeah, so we have usually 150 among them are in the active set. So it's keep running. So these days, so I would say, yeah, I'm pretty happy. So the response from the community was pretty strong. So that's a pretty big encouragement to us, right? That means people are really keeping eyes on us, and they really recognize the progress we're making. Yeah. So and also, just like we discussed before, so for the infrastructure, the layer 1 is the base layer. So on top of that, there will be a lot of business friendly module we need to build. For example, we keep saying, okay, we need to have a diversified type of NFTs, right? So it's collectible, utility NFT, and also we need to have a metadata standard associated with each type of NFTs, because that's the way to make the interoperability possible in the future, right? So that's something we keep doing that, and also in the later part of 22, in the Cosmos community, they started a called ICS 721, which is an interchain standard for the NFT, basically between different Cosmos chains to do the NFT transferability. So we are also the first group of chains to participate it, and also build a testnet environment right now. So that's really important. But I think the real growth of this interchain scenario will be 2023. So today, this year is just the time to build the basics, to build the infrastructure, to make sure that just like a highway be put into place. So to let that people really can drive on that next year.
Sounds good.
So
Sounds good.
And the last one is actually in the infrastructure side, we keep saying we try to build multiple chain and interchain NFT infrastructure. So we actually already built some bridges, NFT bridges between different blockchain technologies. If you remember before, in the mobile version, we already integrated such bridges, which is basically you can transfer NFT back and forth between Cosmos, Ethereum, Polygon, and the BSC. So for this one, again, I think the business value is not there yet. I mean, to the general public, but infrastructure-wise, it's really important. So that's why we are keep enhancing these bridges. So probably in 23, it will be launched along with our Uptick chain and also ICS 721, this kind of cross-chain interoperability scenarios. Nice. So basically that's the major things I think we have done in 22. Well, a lot of things. And from different angles, right? So that's why keep the team very busy this year.
Yeah. Congratulations. You've had a great year, really productive, and it seems like you're all lined up, ready to go for 2023 when things really start taking off.
So well, 23 is a natural continuation of the plan and the team efforts, right? So in 23, actually, I think you can see more exciting stuff. The things I just described is more like building the basics, building the foundations, right? So just like in 21, we introduced Uptick to the global community. In 22, we keep building behind the scenes. Of course, make the marketplace also moving forward as fast as it can. In 23, we want to make sure it will be introduced into the business community. So people can see more business-oriented applications happen on top of that, right? The marketplace is not just only application, right? So it's a place to trade. So there will be a lot of applications on top of that. That's so-called ecosystem application of NFT. So in 23, that's our main goal, to really bring this up. But in order to do that, so I think there are several highlights I want to mention. The first, the Uptick chain, actually through Testnet 1 and Testnet 2, it has been pretty mature right now. So we are just waiting for the right timing to really turn it into mainnet. So I think that's the major goal for the Q1 of 23, maybe even early, in the early Q1. So because once we have the mainnet launched, of course, the associated utility token, Uptick token will be launched, right? So that's the gas to keep the network running. So that's the foundation of the infrastructure. Yeah, so once that's done, a lot of things we talked about before will be built up on top of that, right? So the second one is we on top of this Uptick chain, so we are going to launch so-called Web 3.0 APIs. So which is can be opened up to the developers, right? So because a lot of developers are looking for the test development environment with strong, application-oriented support. If it's a very generic support, maybe they don't have such ability, right, to build their applications quickly. So that's why we try to really focus on to make sure it's NFT Web 3.0 APIs for the dev community, and also especially to help them to build a Web 3.0 type NFT ecosystem application, especially for utility NFTs, right? So because utility NFTs actually is more connected to our daily life. Yep. So it's not just a collectible NFTs, right? So in like a virtual artwork. So that's huge domain. We can expand to that, but we need to work with the community. So that's the way to grow, right? And the third part is on the Uptick chain. Actually, in order to make the infrastructure, underlying infrastructure more complete or more powerful. For example, we are going to introduce Chainlink. Chainlink is an Oracle, right? So Oracle, so they provide a random number service, they provide a price feeding service. So it's a kind of like an industrial standard. So we are going to introduce Chainlink, connect Chainlink into Uptick chain. The good thing for that is once the Chainlink is integrated, so you can see more DeFi oriented protocol and applications can be deployed on Uptick chain, and especially for the NFT plus DeFi related scenarios, right? So and also with the random numbers, you can see more gamification scenarios in that. So
that's been tested out, right, on Uptick before. You've had the weekly lottery running for quite a while, and that runs on.
Yeah. That was just using part of the Chainlink technology. So, but once we have our Uptick chain launched, we need to integrate the full set of such functionalities because developers might really like it. We want to make it interesting. People can have fun, right? So they can put their creativity into real applications and to be really integrated into the this ecosystem. Yeah, that's why we can provide all those infrastructure level components to that. Yeah.
It's not just art, right? It's the whole Web3 ecosystem. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's actually really important because just like I remember like a World Cup period, people are betting and gambling on some results, right? So that's fun, and they can issue some NFT collectibles, right? So to like a sports cards on the top of that. So put all those together, you can see, okay, we need such base layer technologies and services, right? So that will make such application possible. Yeah. So that's you can see it very soon.
Exciting. That's good.
Yeah. And number 4, let me think, is number 4 is because we have the chain and the token, so we are going to launch the Uptick so-called, we call the interchain token model, token economy model into that. So like before, we talk about in the application level, we have purchase to trade to earn, voting or whatever, right? So a lot of mechanisms to utilize the utility token. But on the other side, we think it's since we have the chain as an infrastructure provide such capability, we should not just jump into very details. Basically, the key part we need to support is application developers, right? So just like the token economy model should be friendly to app developer and app operation people, right? So basically, you can see Uptick Marketplace can be one of the key applications on top of that, right? So the marketplace can use such token support to do its trade to earn, mint to earn, this type of things, right? So, but of course, other applications can also use this mechanism to define their own incentive model, right? It doesn't have to be the same as an Uptick Marketplace. Yeah, so basically, if the infrastructure level, we provide this kind of app, I call it app mining capability, that will be greatly encourage the app developer to not only develop some application, but also make sure it can be operationable, right? So only during the operation, it will help the app developer to generate the revenues based on token incentive, right?
That's great.
Yeah. So I think this is really important because our core team cannot do everything, right? So we can really provide technology, ideas, and supports. But I believe people, the wisdom among people is always greater than one team. So we really encourage them to do some meaningful stuff on top of that.
So do you think there'll be some tutorials and stuff? Like if I want to try making some sort of membership card app or like a Web3 language school app, how can I figure out how to do everything? Is there going to be tutorials?
Yeah. Of course. So basically, when we provide the Web3 APIs, the documentation and some sample code should be provided as well.
Great.
Otherwise it's difficult, right? For people.
I don't know where to start.
Cool. That's pretty important part. And the fifth is the Uptick DAO. Because we have the token, we have the economy model, so we really need to build is a decentralized community governance, right? So the earlier build it, the better. So Uptick DAO is the goal to do that, and also the Uptick DAO is not just another way of the voting. But it's more like a full governance of the everything. So, of course, it's a still open topic, how to make it work well. So we also keep working on that. We're also listening to the community. For example, it should not just simply vote or to gather incentive. That's the simple part, but it should solve some real problems in the ecosystem, right? For example, as we discussed before, the copyright issue, right? So if some NFT is considered as a copycat, so how can we deal with that, right? So I keep saying we don't want to be the centralized judge to decide, okay, this is the right and this is wrong. We let the community to vote for that, to really participate this kind of process.
Yeah.
So that's one of the aspect that the Uptick DAO can participate, right?
That's good. That's
So
reassuring.
yeah, this is a big topic, Uptick DAO. So I think probably in the new year, so we will have more sessions to talk about that, and also to gather more ideas, right, from the community.
Mm.
So I think, the Uptick DAO, I think it's not just designed by us and to apply to the community. We want to design with the community, right? So and then used by the community.
Yeah.
That's the best way to really participate and bring people together.
Totally. The more
Yeah.
decentralized, the better. There were all those scandals, projects blew up, in 2022. FTX, maybe one of the most recent ones. And yeah, people are kind of afraid of centralized, companies or projects. But yeah, it'll be good. Nice. So that was number 5.
And the last one actually was some business module in the infrastructure and Uptick Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, in the last few episodes, we talk about the enhancement of a marketplace, right? So actually, the team has done something. We plan to launch it in the EVM Marketplace version, along with the Uptick chain. So, for example, we talk about the flexible rights management, right? So multiple layer of our rights management, from CC0 to some customizable rights. We also talk about the wider spectrum of NFT types, more tickets or other stuff, right? So to support, and also we talk about to bring the social commerce functions into that. Basically, it's you remember we talked about a social graph.
Yeah,
we need to build a social in the system. So, but people can layered structure, right? So they can be incentivized. Maybe the first case on top of this structure is a referral program, right? So if you invite people into the program, you become you build such a referral relationship, and you will enjoy the incentive in the future, right?
Excellent.
So these I think are all the enhancement module, especially good for the business operation, and also those modules is not just for the Uptick Marketplace. So as we want to open up, right? So to make sure it's a lot of our functional and APIs be available to the developers to build their own applications. So that's why I say, those modules, it's not just for the marketplace, but it's also part of the infrastructure. So we're trying to make sure it's right in the architecture design, to make sure it's flexible enough for the people to really can use it. So I think that's something for 23. So
it's a good plan.
A lot of things.
Okay, anything else? That's a lot.
Well, I think that's it. It's a lot. It has been a lot. So I really hope people can really get to know Uptick network from the different angles, because in the past some people feel, you are the marketplace, right? Now actually in our validators community, they see, you are the layer 1, right? So in 2023, I hope they can finally define, that's the whole picture, right? So that's the exciting parts. That's we really want to build.
I think I'm sure it'll happen. It'll be good. All right, Brian, thanks a lot for your time. You gave us a lot of insight into what you accomplished in 2022 and your plans for 2023. It's very exciting. I hope you get some rest over the New Year holiday, and we'll see you again January. Maybe talk about DAOs and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thank you, John, for your time, especially in this holiday season.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I really hope the more people will understand Uptick network and try to join us as to build a strong community together.
Yeah,
Yeah, hope we can all work together and win in 2023.
it'll be a good year. Okay, take care.
Yeah.